Hi everyone, welcome to Burn Pilates. My name is Lydia. We are going to be going through a standing workout flow using a chair. This workout is bar inspired, so if you've ever done a bar class before and you feel best wearing shoes, socks, or you prefer to be barefoot, make the best choice for you. Of course, you know that on my channel, I like to give you lots of opportunity to make choices and really to give yourself the permission to make the best choices based on how you feel today. We're going to be using a couple pieces of equipment, and if you have these at home, you're going to be grabbing them. Set of weights, we're going to be using this for arm work. You want to go no heavier than about 3 pounds. And then if you have a booty band, we're going to be using a resistance band for different exercises for our glutes. I'm using a medium band. I also have an option of a medium light, so that certain exercises I can kind of modify, again, based on how I feel today. So you do the same from home. We're going to start right away, setting up with the chair. You want to have the chair in so that the base is facing towards your center. If you're using a mat, have it at the very, very top of your mat. Now, if you don't have a chair that is safe and it has maybe wheels on the base, don't use it. You can use a countertop, you can use a wall, or any other object for support, but you want to make sure, no matter what, that your object of support can support you. Set up with what you need, what you have, and we're going to get right away into our class. We're going to set up right away, take your legs all the way to a second position, making sure that your external rotation is coming from the hips. You're going to reach your arms all the way to the side and just relax your shoulders away from your ears. Extend to the chest and collarbones. Feel right away that you're growing long through your core. We're going to take our deep breath in, arms reach front. Exhale, stretch all the way to T. Deep breath into bend. Exhale, lengthen out. Become conscious right away of how you're moving. Shoulders away from ears. Bring awareness right away into how your core is working to keep your ribs over your hips and how your glutes are working to lower your pelvis down. Exhale, stretch, just like footwork on a reformer. You're feeling your resistance with gravity. Deep breath in, palms to floor, extend out. Train that your arms are stopping right in your shoulder width positioning, just like you were in a plank. Inhale and exhale. Turn your thumbs to ceiling, bend and stretch. We're going to add on right away a little bit more dynamic rhythm. Arms stretched all the way out. A little different than ballet. In the technique that we are using today, you don't want to round your arms. I want you to stretch them all the way out. Inhale, exhale. If ever you feel that you need to go slower, or you need to listen and pay attention to your breath just a bit more, listen to your body. We're going to come all the way into a bend. Hold us here and pulse for 3, 2, 1. Reach out, squeeze the glutes. Breathe in, breathe out. Shoulders down, back working. We're going to go for 3 more reps. Down, 2, 3, squeeze the glutes. 3, 2, 1. You're going to go for 1 more bend right here. And then taking your arms, stretch them all the way out behind your hips, palms to ceiling, tailbone out, shoulders away from ears. If you need to go a little bit wider to feel the support through your inner thighs, walk your legs out just enough that you can feel that support come from your glutes and inner thighs. Hips are back, chest is lifted. Feel the weight in your heels and try to push your heels deeper into the floor to right away ground from, again, glutes. We've got glute medius, minimus, and maximus. We are going to work them all in today's class. From here, take your arms. As you bring your arms to the side, palms turn down to the floor. Use your back. You're going to take your palms back to ceiling. Bring your hands and arms next to your waist. You're working from the shoulder. You're feeling where your arms, as you extend wide, are taking your back for a full stretch out. And as you bring your arms next to your waist, I want you to feel where the back of the shoulder is staying taut, and you're accentuating that length to the tricep. Deep breath in, arms to the side. Exhale, clavicles are long. Feeling where your chest is opening, arms to side, palms to ceiling. Feel your feet in the floor. Keep this posture growing, glutes on. We're gonna take the arms all the way to the side. From here, you're gonna take your hips and you're gonna lower them down by pushing back just a little bit into your posterior chain, meaning as your hips come down, you're not pulsing fast, that's for sure, but you're pushing your tailbone back like you're trying to push your butt into your leggings to increase the width across your glutes. So it's just that little drop. It's a small dip. You're catching your weight. You're using your glutes by pushing your heels into the floor. Grounding is always something you're focused on. Abs on, last 4. Navel in. For 3, exhale. Last set of 2, stretch out through the chest. Open your arms up, feel your back work. From here, you're gonna take a lift of your pelvis and your toes are gonna come to parallel. Release your arms down, come all the way in, relax your shoulders. We're gonna set up right away for our first chair sequencing. So just make sure that you do have your object of support ready for you. I just want you to know that all of the movements can be done without any object of support, and you can always do all of these exercises on the floor, on the mat. So just keep that in mind so that when you are choosing to follow suit with how your body feels today, you can customize this class for you. As we sit up, you're going to be turning in, taking your hands all the way onto the base of your chair. My base is not super supportive, so I'm taking my hands onto the arms. And these are, again, customizable features of what you're going to be using today so that you can really curate your class to what you have. I want you to bring your legs right away into a parallel hip bone width distance, knees in a soft light bend, tailbone is out. Spine is long, take an inhale, look up. Stretch and open up through your sternum, and on your exhale, as you round your back, you straighten your thighs, pulling navel all the way up. Feeling your shoulder blades separate. Deep breath in, bend your knees, stick your tailbone out. Chest through the arms, eyes up. Just one more time, exhale, navel to spine, eyes looking down towards your toes. Straighten your thighs, pull your stomach wall all the way in. Find a neutral pelvis. Your eyes are going to stay right down in alignment so your neck is long, meaning you're not looking towards your toes, you're not looking forward as much as you can. You're going to keep your legs in a soft, small bend so that the hamstrings right here are extended. Tailbone is out. You're really presenting your butt. I want you to go into that positioning and that feeling. Now from here, take your left leg all the way back. Your weight is in your right leg, and you're not leaning into your chair. You're keeping that hamstring engagement. So just check in with your posture. We're going to set up one more time. I really want you to find the form. Knees are soft, tailbone is out. Take your left leg all the way back. Now from here, you're going to take your left leg and you're going to bring it off the floor just to hover. Stretch the left front of your quad and hip flexor by squeezing into your glute. You're maintaining a total parallel. Do not let the knee go into lateral rotation. From here, on your next breath in, take your left toes down, touch the floor, and then exhale without letting the leg lift high where the back arches. Lift off the floor to feel that you're engaging through the glute in both directions. Super important. You're not just lifting for the squeeze of the glute, you're lowering for that tension and support. Lower down like you're pushing away water. Exhale, lift. And the deeper you get into that connection of the lowering down with total control and contraction, the more you're going to work the hardest part of your butt to change, which is right here at the base of the hamstring. You're going to be perking that up, but you're going to be turning on, most importantly, the muscles that help support what the abs have to do. The abs are staying on in order not to let the back arch, in order to help keep the pelvis stable, in order to stretch out through that left hip flexor. Exhale, lift. Let's go for a last set of 2. And exhale, lift up. Spine is long. Your right knee always has that tiny miniature bend so that the leg is never locked. Now from here, the left leg stays up. You're going to take a deep breath in, flex the foot, exhale, stretch, and point through the toes. Deep breath in and exhale, shoulders away from ears. Keep working this posture. This is as if we were on the box doing foot and strap work. always working for that tension. Now from here, take a deep breath in and exhale. Hold the stretch of your left leg. Keep the toes long. I want you to draw a small circle in towards your right inner thigh, keeping your left leg in parallel, working from the glute. We're gonna go for another set of 6, 5, 4, make it small like a golf ball. 4, 3, 2, last 1. Reverse. We've got 10, so we've got our final set here of 6, last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, transitioning, take your left foot all the way down, knees in a soft, light bend. I want you to bring your torso all the way up so your arms can stretch back, shoulders away from ears. Your chest is wide, your collarbones are wide. Now from here, you're keeping your arms in this extension back where the fingers are reaching. Start to circle your arms right away, up and around, and draw your gaze forward where your neck is long. Abs pull in. This is not a squat. This is a sit back. You're gonna go for one more. 8, 7, 6, 5. We're turning on the arms. Just by doing this small motion, reverse your circle direction. Belly pulls in. Think of drawing about the size of grapefruits and really focus on pulling the muscles in towards your midline. Final set of 8, shoulders back, collarbones wide. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your arms all the way up, lift towards the ceiling, and if it feels good, look all the way up, stretch your stomach wall, stretch your legs. You're gonna take your arms all the way to a second position. Hold this posture, eyes stay forward, lift your heels, lower your heels, up and down. Now, if you need to use anything for balance, you can, but I want you to feel as you train this lift and lower, the legs are staying long. Keep your arms up. I get to take mine down because I'm teaching you, and I want to make everything really clear. Keep your arms up, work your posture. Now you should be turning on your calves and your glutes. And again, the kneecaps are long. You're engaged through every muscle in your leg to pull the kneecaps up to support your joints. Final set of 5. Try not to bounce the lift and try not to let the heels bounce as you lower. You're controlling up, pushing down. 3, last 2, last 1. Lift up, lower down right away. Take your hands onto your object of support. Stretch the left leg back first. Give yourself a nice little calf stretch. Try to get that left heel into the floor. Bend your right leg as much as you need. When you're ready, switch sides. We're gonna go right away into our second side here. So again, supporting yourself as you need, making the right adjustments. You're gonna take your feet, hip bone width distance. Let's go through a few cat and cows. Take a deep breath in, knees stay soft. Chest through the shoulders. Exhale, navel to spine, straighten your thighs, feel your back stretch. Try to make your inhale as long as possible through your nose. Strengthen your sinus passage. And now on your next breath in, we're gonna keep the knees soft, tailbone is back. You're presenting the glutes behind you and you reach your right leg all the way out. That left leg is always in that soft light bend, so the tailbone is out. Your butt is looking beautiful. It is well presented. From here, shoulders away from ears. Engage through your abs, take an inhale. And on your exhale, lift right leg from the floor. Hips in parallel, right away, square off your hips and feel how you're transverse, the muscles of your deep abdomen, right between the horizontal spacing of your right and left hip bone. It's like a seatbelt, and it is working to keep your hips square, just like your collarbones are working to keep your shoulders square. Lower and touch the floor with a full control of that right glute. You're pushing down, and then you're pressing up. So you're engaging on that lower. You're engaging also on the lift. Lower, push, lift. Don't lift your right leg high for the sake of going high. You're using your glute and you are not whack attacking this movement where the back starts to arch. You know you will have gone too high. You should feel this through your obliques, keeping your rib cage aligned with your hips. Take your leg for a last set of 3. Push down, press on up. Hold your leg all the way up. Engage through your abs, engage through your left glute, square off your hips if you need to. Now you're gonna flex, stretch, flex, stretch. Every time your right toes stretch on out, feel where your neck grows longer. Bring attention into your abs. You're gonna keep right away this point on your final stretch. Circle up and around, drawing attention into the right inner thigh. The right inner thigh is pulling the right leg in towards the left on these circles. Squeeze the right glute. Last set of 3, 2, final one. Take a deep breath in and exhale, reverse opposite way. 10, 9, 8. Don't let there be any bend in that right long leg. Final set here of 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. You're gonna take your foot all the way under your hip. Come all the way up and grab your weights right away. You're gonna set up, making sure your arms have the weights where your shoulders away from ears. Give yourself a little turn. Look towards the left and right a couple times so you can release any neck tension that may have come in. I say may, it's probable. The neck starts to get overly involved. From here, shoulders shrug up, look forward. You're gonna take your hips back and let your arms adjust right onto your shoulder alignment. Now I'm facing forward so that my butt is behind me. Obviously, that was silly. But what I meant is that my butt's facing the chair. You can have that facing as well because it's going to be a setup into our flow. Now, your heels are right underneath your sit bones, hip bones. Check it out. Touch your body if you need to make sure. And then from here, looking down, I want you to externally rotate. Left and right heel coming all the way into center. Still underneath your sit bones, hip bones, just in the center of your pubic bone though. So as you hold this position, make sure that you always feel that your glutes are working and that your knees aren't starting to close or starting to sway forward. Shoulders are rolling back and down. You're drawing your navel all the way in, extending your arms all the way up and back. I want you to work just like this for chest expansion, just like this for arm pulling straps. Deep breath in and exhale, reach. Shoulders away from ears. Reaching back, collarbones are wide. Every time the arms go all the way up, your abs are working to keep the movement controlled so that when you lower down, you can push through the fronts of your arms, working your back at the same time. So we're always working back and lats, and that's the idea. You don't want to throw the movement or let the arms swing. Sometimes I see people lift and lift and lift. That's too fast. You're pushing slow. Shoulders are staying away from the ears. Your neck is stretching, your abs are drawing up and in, those collarbones are wide. There's equal push and press, just like we worked from the glute. Exhale, lift. Don't let the wrists start to stretch in any upward motion. Keep them in alignment with your elbows and shoulders. Last 2. Last 1. Take a deep breath in. Let's hold the arms all the way up. From here, turn your palms to face the ceiling, shoulders back. We lift, we circle up and around. Just like you did, warming up. Circle 8, 7, 6. Find stillness in your body. 4, 3, 2. Take a full breath in. Hold a stretch, reach those arms back, and then exhale, switch direction. Up and around, up and around. Collarbones wide. 8 more. 6, 5, 4. Keep your neck long, look forward. Last 2, last 1. You're gonna, from here, stretch on up, bring your feet to parallel, place your weights all the way on the floor. You're gonna take your hands onto your chair, onto your object of support, or again, use your floor if you need to do these movements. Feet walk forward, tailbone releases. On your next breath in, you're gonna bend your elbows, and we're gonna take this into 10 tricep dips. Where you go to in your depth is gonna be very much you listening to your body and finding the correct form. Elbows go back, Exhale, lengthen. Spine staying long. Belly button pulls in. Use your feet in the floor and even use your inner thighs. Close the legs up and feel how much of your lower body you can get engaged into pelvic floor connectivity by squeezing your inner thighs, ankles, and big toes all the way in up to your pubic bone. Last 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lift and take a momentary sit back. Let your feet release. And from here, if it feels good, round your back over top of your thighs. Let your arms drape over top towards the floor. Just give yourself a momentary release right here. You're going to take your weights and softly restacking your spine, come all the way up. Take your arms into a side cactus shoulder press positioning. We're going to stay seated, and again, the floor is always available, but where you are seated, make sure your back is right away long without using your object of support to keep you long. I want you to be activated through your core. Now from here, your elbows, if you look at them, are on the alignment of your shoulders, and you're creating one long line from right to left. Take an inhale, let your elbows come down. Look at them now and see the V shape that you just created. On your exhale, you lengthen up through that cactus. Stop. Inhale, squeeze your lats, and exhale, lift. Squeeze your lats and exhale, lift. Now, the more you squeeze when you bring your elbows down, the closer you're going to feel your elbows come right in towards your ribs, which is what you want. You want to feel your muscles working like you're hoisting yourself up and out of a swimming pool. Exhale as we go up. Deep breath in as we go down for a last set of 2. Shoulders down. Hold here. Take a full breath in. Straighten your arms. On your exhale, pull down. Inhale, stretch. Pull. Inhale, reach. Breathe out, pull down. Feel this work come from your lats. Neck is long. Core is tight. Feet are stable. Lumbar spine is neutral. We're going to go for our final set of 4. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pull down like you're doing a chin up. 3. Sit tall, no sit bones. Activate your pelvic floor. Last one. Deep breath in. Exhale. Pull down, down, down. You're going to bring your weights all the way to the side. Come up to standing. And now grab your elastic band. Walk your ankles directly through your band. You want to have your band around the most stable part of your ankle/leg, but at the lowest point. So whatever band you have, just make sure it is comfortable around your own anatomy. Now from here, what we're going to do in setting up is come to the side of the chair where you have either stability from the upper end back or the lower end front. You will choose what feels best. I'm going to be setting up where my feet are just in a parallel, a little wider than hip width distance, so that I can feel and find right away the tension in the band that it provides. From here, bend your knees, shift your weight into your right leg to start. Take your right hand down to the side of the chair that you're going to be using. I'm going to be using the higher end for my height today, and you will again choose and do you. You're going to look towards your left leg and see that it's long, knees in parallel. Now the right kneecap has a little bend to it, so that means the tailbone is back, the booty is out. Take your left hand to your hip, stabilize. Take a full breath in. Ooh, exhale, find length through your torso. And lift off the floor, stabilize, lower down, and lift. Not for height, but for activation. Little bend into that right leg, making sure that the knee is not starting to break from its positioning of support. The hips are back. This is glute work right away through and through, both sides working. Lift and lower. Now, if you're able to, you could take your hands off of any object of support and just cup a right fist into a left hand, pressing lightly in towards that center line to keep your body on the tilt, keep your upper back and abs engaged. We're going to go for one more set of 8. Stretch out to that left thigh. Exhale, 7. Control the way down. Don't let that band snap you to the floor. control, control, both directions. It's been the theme of today's class, both directions. We're gonna go for a final set here of 4 and lower. Last set of 3 and control. Final set of 2, control and reach. On your last one, hold it up. Find stability, stay. Increase the length in your torso, flex that left glute so that the hip flexor is reaching forward. Point and stretch the left toes. Hips are softly back, that right leg has a miniature bend. We're staying for 8, 7, 6, 5. Neck is long, shoulders away from ears. Work every part of your form for 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Give yourself a soft little release through the legs. We're gonna grab right away our handheld weights. You're gonna bring your elbows in towards your waist, set up your legs in a little wider than that hip width distance so that your band again is stabilized. Now from here, we're gonna be going into an alternating internal rotation hinge. What that means is as you bring, starting with the right leg, let's all do the right leg to start. As you bring your right leg forward, you're trying to align up that right leg at about 1 o'clock. Your hips go back. You hinge at your hips. Now your knees, I'm gonna show you right away in center. They're gonna look like this. I don't want you closing your knees all the way in where you start to collapse. I want you to feel that this work is coming from the hinge of your hips. This is very similar again to footwork if you've done Pilates on the reformer. From here, starting with the hips, we're gonna go right leg first. Let's do right leg first 3 times and then left 3 times and then we'll alternate. Arms tucked in, collarbones wide. Have your weights facing the ceiling. Take an inhale. On your exhale, find the floor. Hips hinge back. You feel right away a stretch through the upper hamstring. Feel that work in holding the tension of the band. Abs pull in so your back doesn't overly arch. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Come back to center. Stabilize. Hips back. Take an inhale. Exhale, step. Hips press. You're holding that tautness of the band and you're working again from the hips. So it's not kneecaps that are doing the work, it's your hips, your glute. Come in, navel in. We're gonna do the left side 3 times. Just to find that work, deep breath in, look center and exhale. Left foot towards that 11 o'clock. Come all the way back to center. And just look at your legs if ever you need to so that you can see, that's where I'm working from the glutes. The internal rotation is one that does feel funky. You're pushing your hips back. You're always expanding those glutes like you're trying to fill out through your pants. We're gonna add the arms to this next set. Just station yourself into that wider than hip width distance. Maybe you found a little bit more width. This feels good for my band and where my glutes are today. You're gonna roll your shoulders up and back and turn your weights and palms to face out, elbows into that tight little V position. Now your weights are heads in towards your shoulders so that you can keep your shoulder rolled down and back. You want to keep your collarbones wide. From here, we're going to alternate. Take an inhale. Let's start with right leg. On your exhale, right leg brings forward. Into that internal rotation we go as we stretch. Arms reach over top of the floor. Take your arms all the way back in, step back. Make sure your arms are back in that V, collarbones wide. Left, stretch, hips back, expand the glutes. Come all the way back into center. Navel in. We're gonna go for a final one, each side after this one here. Hips back, belly in. Inhale. Right leg forward, hips back. Internal rotation with the support of the glutes. You're using always your heels. Find that positioning in the floor. How do we stabilize the ankle? We get the butt engaged. Heel to floor, hips back, stretch the lower spine, pull in, come all the way to center. From here, keep your hips tilted back and simply feel where you've shifted the weight into your heels. I would even suggest to lift your toes off the floor if that is a feature that you can include. Take an inhale, hips are back. On your exhale, reach your arms all the way towards your side. When you pull in, without bringing the weights close to the shoulders, bring the elbows in towards your hips. Try to squeeze your elbows right behind your back. Inhale to reach, exhale to pull in. We're gonna go for 8, pull. 7, engaging through the lats. Keep the glutes on. Belly button to spine. Working your core, working your butt. Working your posture, working your back for the last set of 3. Really connect with that pulling in. Elbows towards your lower waist. Last one. Step on up, stand, come tall. Walk your legs all the way back in so that you have the ability to place your weight safely down. Now we're setting up for the second side. I'm gonna try to stay away from my chair completely. We're going to be using, of course, object of support for the left side. So do station your body accordingly so that it makes sense for you as you find your balance for the second side. Legs have that hip width distance where there's already a bit of tension activated. You want there to be some tension so that you can find your true balance with the resistance. Now from here, you're gonna take a soft little bend in your knees, take a tilt where your hips are back, your rib cage is right away knitted in with your abs, your butt is nicely presented out. We always work with the glutes. Now you're shifting the weight into your left leg and the right leg is going long. Look at the kneecap, see the stretch of your leg, make sure your thigh is in a full parallel. Your hips are staying in that soft tilt, which means the left leg has a light bend. Just look at my left leg really quickly. What you don't want to have happen is that all the weight falls in towards your ankle because the band is pulling you in. Be very attentive. The leg is staying in its parallel. By using your glute, you will have more control over keeping that knee in your parallel. Really think of there being a hand on the outer thigh. You're pressing that thigh into a hand, keeping that glute engaged. Now, if you are taking this position of ultimate balance, of course the left hand can be down, just know that. But if you're taking this ultimate balance position, left fist goes in towards your right hand, shoulders are down and back, engage by lightly pushing into center, find that resistance, and lift. Ooh, second side difference right away. Lift, control down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower, control. Now right away, you're working through opposition. The left leg as it stretches out is lifting up. So what you are feeling is for sure an increase of tension the higher the leg goes, but what you want to feel is ultimately that the control is when you lower. You're not letting that band snap your leg to the floor. So there's work in your obliques on that right side right here. There's work on the left inner thigh that's happening in support. Your left butt should be feeling this for sure in support. Start to engage the right side, squeeze the right glute, keep that hip flexor long, work your posture, exhale, lower. Last set of 4. Exhale for 3. Final set of 2. Last one. Lift on up, hold right here. Find your balance. If you haven't already, challenge yourself to hold. Now stretch the right leg completely out. Your kneecap should never have been bent on that right side, but if it was, stretch it out now. Squeeze your right butt, feel that right hip flexor stretch. Hold your posture, left ear is tilted. We've got 4, 3, 2, 1, come down. Yes, take that band off. You're going to let that band just go wherever it needs to. Now from here, we're gonna set up hips facing back in towards the chair. I want you to, from here, take your hands, find that same base of support. You're gonna turn your legs all the way into external rotation, heels together, toes apart, bend your knees, stick your tailbone all the way out. We're gonna be going through an alternating leg stretch, starting with your left leg. Take an inhale, exhale. As you reach your left leg long, you keep your right leg bent, you keep your torso stable, you bring your left foot all the way in, tailbone stays out, the knees are in a plie. So when you straighten the right leg and you bring it back in, it's coming into its plie position so that your weight transfer is as seamless as possible through that midline. Come in. Now as you stretch your leg, use the advantage of the chair with your hands in support of you to reach your torso forward so you get this long line of abdominal activity in the stretch and the contraction. Very often what happens in these kinds of movements here is that when the leg comes back in, the hips lower down and tuck. You are working through your abs so the hips stay out. Those 2 sit bones should be looking out the whole time. The depths of your butt should be seeing the light of day. Inhale. This would be your Lululemon pant test if you were trying on leggings. Like, can we see through? Not sure. Hold that plie. Let me find out. Take that breath in. We're gonna go here for our final set of 3. Exhale. Stretch. Spine long. Last time to the left, last time to the right. Take that stretch, reach on out, come all the way back to center. And from here, let your hips come up, turn your legs all the way in and take a small step all the way back. You're gonna bring your arms all the way up, stretching so that you have your biceps next to ears. Take a full breath in, and on your exhale, as your arms come down to your side and center, we lift the heels, we lower the heels. Whew. I swear, sometimes lifting and lowering with shoes on, well, actually, I know with shoes on, it's a lot harder. So if you are feeling that balance challenge with shoes, don't feel shy to take off your shoes. You're keeping your kneecaps long by pulling your muscles into activation. I want you to imagine that as your heels push down, they're pushing down against something. Think of using that resistance. Lats turning on. Your body is like a wine opener. As the arms go down, the heels lift, that cork gets pulled out. Inhale to lower, exhale, last 4, last 3, last 2, finish with 1 more, lift and lower, let the arms come down with you. Use what you have to go into a stretch. I'm gonna be using the ledge for a little bit more depth. Take your left heel back, and just give yourself that calf stretch where you're working the heel into the floor. If it feels good to lightly rebound the stretch, do so, but don't go aggressively into any stretch at any time. Just feel it out. When you're ready, switching sides, second leg. Notice the difference on the second side. It might be night and day, and it might be the same, but do take notice. Give yourself always the opportunity to observe and be self-reflective in your class. You're gonna come all the way up. And from here, what we're gonna do is just take the arms all towards the ceiling, interlace your fingers, stretch on up, look towards the ceiling, take a full breath in. On your exhale, take your arms all the way to your side. You're gonna sit down on your chair, and from here, interlace your fingers yet again, and push your spine into a round. Separate those shoulder blades, pull your belly button in, round your lumbar. Take an inhale, stretch your arms all up to the ceiling. On your exhale, come up to standing, reach your hands next to you, take your hands, interlace your fingers now behind your lower back, and just allowing for the arms to pull down. If it feels good, you can go into an upper back stretch. Feel your abdominals. Pull the weight of your spine all the way up. Shoulders releasing, arms letting go. Thank you so much for joining me for this class today. I hope that you feel activated, elongated, toned, strengthened, all the good stuff, all the things you want from a class like this. If ever you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I always look forward to answering and helping guide you as best I can here on my channel. Thanks so much for joining. If you finished to the end, please like and subscribe to this channel. I look forward to bringing you more classes. Thank you, everyone, and see you at the next burn.